Imagine Hollywood's golden age, but without the gold. While the major studios had sound stages and stars, a handful of small, cash-strapped studios were operating in the shadows, literally, grinding out horror, westerns, crime flicks, all at a breakneck speed. These were the Poverty Row studios. These companies existed on the fringes of the industry, surviving on shoestring budgets, rented sets, and reused costumes. But in their frantic race to turn a profit, they occasionally stumbled upon something atmospheric, mood, even a kind of accidental brilliance. And today we're going to dive into three of the strangest, creakiest, and weirdly charming horror films to shamble out of the Poverty Row's foggy days.
Let's begin with a film that feels like it was written during a fever dream and shot in a single weekend. 1943's The Ape Man from Monogram Pictures. Bela Lugosi stars as Dr. Brewster, a scientist who turns himself into a half-man, half-ape hybrid by accident. Yep, you heard me right, by accident. He now requires spinal fluid to return to his normal state, which is extremely inconvenient for everyone involved. It's the sort of plot that begs for a rewrite, but doesn't get one. The direction is flat, the ape suit is bargain bin, and the dialogue swings somewhere between pulp genius and absurdity. And then, suddenly, out of nowhere, the film breaks the fourth wall, with a character revealing he's just part of the story. Meta-horror? No, just confusion.
And yet, it's entertaining. Lugosi gives this movie everything, and there's something sad and strange about watching him wrestle with rubber ape arms and a dying career.
Next up, The Ape from 1940, another simian-themed nightmare from Monogram. This one stars Boris Karloff, who frankly deserves better, but plays it straight anyway. Karloff plays a kindly doctor trying to cure polio. How? By donning an ape suit and murdering townsfolk to extract spinal fluid. Yes, again, with spinal fluid. For some reason in the 1940s, people were fascinated by apes and spinal fluid. It's a film that works a fine line between tragedy and farce, and fails on both sides. But Karloff lends it a weird dignity, which makes the absurdity all the more surreal. There's a kind of cheap poetry in its weird pacing, night-for-night lighting, and awkward edits. This is horror by way of community theater, and I mean that fondly. Now we come to one of the more atmospheric Poverty Row efforts, Dead Men Walk, from PRC and director Sam Newfield, who once directed 250 films in a year and spent not a second more than necessary on each. George Zucco plays twin brothers, one a respectable doctor and the other a Satan-worshipping vampire. Naturally, the evil one, who is a vampire, comes back from the dead for revenge. Despite its budget, the film nails some classic horror atmosphere, cobwebbed crypts, gothic shadows, and graveyard fog. It's cheap, yes, but also compelling. Zucco gets to choose the scenery and the next, and the film builds to a conclusion that's surprisingly haunting.
Until next time, keep your crypts tidy, your brains in jars, and your horror delightfully deranged. Please leave comments below, like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Thanks for joining the Geriatric Goth. I am John, the Geriatric Goth, signing off from the shadows.